All right, welcome back. We continue live right here on Pittsburgh CW. Bob Pompeani and Ron Cook with you at 412-575-2600. That's the number to call. Before we get into that, Jim Rutherford was on with Cook and Pony today, and the GM talked about, you know, looking ahead, trade deadline. He's always pretty active, although he's kind of limited, Ron, in what he has to work with, which would indicate that if he's going to make a deal, he's probably going to have to give up somebody.
That's exactly what he said, be creative. I think he feels a lot better about his team now than he did a month ago, obviously. 9-3 month of January makes you feel better. He said he knew it was going to take some time to get this team going. He thinks the breaks were good, the 5 days off they had, the All-Star game. He thinks they're flying right now. I don't know that he's as desperate to make a move, but I still think he'll do something by February 26th. But to get a third-line center in here, he's going to have to find a way to shed some money, whether it's Ian Cole or somebody else.
Ian Cole, though, is playing very well, and I would be not of the opinion they need to move him, even though it may mean, you know, you lose him at the end of the year. He's so good in the postseason. He's been the last 2 postseasons. He gives you a different dimension back there. I don't understand why he was in the doghouse.
You know, we asked him about that today, and he goes, the coach clearly thinks he can do more. He said he's trying to bring it out of him. He pointed out 2 years ago, you might remember, the first Cup year, he benched him for like 14 or 15 games. And Cole came back and responded and played great. I don't know if that's going to happen again this year. He and the coach definitely seem to have some sort of issue there. I'm a Cole fan. I think he's really good.
Here's a good question for you. Friday night coming into town is the Washington Capitals, who are going to win tonight 5-3. That means a more rugged game. That means Tom Wilson. Does it mean Ryan Reeves, Ron?
Man, coaches hate to mess up the lineup after wins. I don't think so. I think he's going to stay with what he has. And Reeves has been out of the line. We asked Rutherford about that today, too, and he defended the trade up and down. He goes, he's been such a deterrent to teams taking liberties with the Stars. I don't know how that can be when he doesn't play very much, but I guess I won't be surprised either way. But if I had to bet, I would bet he'll be out of the lineup again Friday.
Yeah, coaches are habits, and those habits are winning. And when he wins, he doesn't want to make a change.
Hate to make a change.
Let's go to Salzburg. Ray is on the line with Ray. Welcome to the Sports Call. How are you?
How are you guys this evening?
Good, thank you.
Hey, on the Penguins making the trade, I know this might sound stupid, but I was thinking maybe Letang.
I don't think they're going to do that. I think the best of Chris Letang is coming again. He's had to deal with a lot of injury, that neck issue, and I think he's finally maybe getting back to where he needs to go. Plus, it's a big price tag to unload right now.
I don't see them moving him. Rutherford felt like when we asked him about Letang today too, he goes, "We got to take some blame. We played him too much early in the season." Coming back from that neck surgery, I'm not going to trade Letang. I really like him as a player. I don't think he's had a good year, but trying to give him the benefit of the doubt coming back from this neck surgery.
And depth is so important in a postseason run, especially if you're going to go the entire distance. They need a lot of help defensively. Guy like that is you know, he didn't play last year, so you can argue, well, they won one without him, but that's...
I still don't know how they did it, but they did it.
But, you know, pressure luck to do it again without that kind of guy on the power. And by the way, their power play is really good to watch. Even though last night it didn't score, it still moves the puck, it still creates. Everyone on the ice can kill you. It is a real
fabulous talent on that power play.
And it's finally coming to fruition. I mean, it's playing the way I think a lot of people thought it would. Let's go to Jim in Castle Shannon. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
What's up?
Yeah. Bob, has there ever been a team that won 4 Stanley Cups in a row?
New York Islanders, 1980s.
80 to 84 the last time. Montreal won like 12 out of 13 years or something.
But it's been a long time, and there's a reason for that.
80 to 84 was the Islanders won 4, not 3.
That's a Trottier and
they
the
won
top
4.
line, Bossy and Gillies.
Last time.
And one more other thing, New England's going to lose to Philly Sunday.
I think so, too. I don't know why I think so, but I think the game of the trenches belongs to Philadelphia. And whether or not they can turn that into turnovers and big plays to change the game, I don't know. But it's too easy for me to pick New England because they're being favored. Everyone expects the same. But I think if you can get some pressure, do some, and they can. Up front, they have as good a defensive line as anybody, and that includes Jacksonville, Ron.
Well, I go the easy way. I'm going to take New England. Until they're proven beaten and proven otherwise, they're the champs to me. I'm not writing off Brady enough. You tell me Gronkowski isn't going to play, and I don't believe that. I think he is going to play. I saw a stat the other day, Bob. His passer rating, Brady, with Gronkowski's like 106.9, and without him is like 90.6. That's a big difference.
Yet
he needs.
Like the
now they won the Cup
Letang.
last year without him.
Right.
I don't know that they do it again, and I think he plays though.
I do too. He's back at practice, it looks like. Let's go to Frank in West Mifflin. Hey, Frank, how you doing?
Hey, Bob, how are you tonight?
Good, Frank. What's going on?
Hey, why can't the Steelers just stay out of the news? You got Juju giving the middle finger to people. I mean, why is it always something with this team?
I saw that. I didn't know what to make. Thanks for the call, Frank. Ron, I didn't
An immature move by a kid that's 21.
Yeah, but
I mean,
it's not necessary.
No, it isn't necessary. I don't think it's the world's worst offense. They've done some other things where the guy talked about him being in the news. I would agree with. It's one of those deals you kind of wish he hadn't have done it. I don't think it's a real big deal. It looked like he was very cordial to this guy. He's always been very good with people. Made probably a bad decision there, but I don't think it's the end of the world.
John in Newcastle, you're up next right here. Hey, John, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Bob?
Okay.
Ron? My question to you guys are, when Stallings came to Pitt, do you think if he would have kept somebody like Brandon Knight on his staff, do you think the transition would have went smoother with the problems he had last year and the problems he seems to be having this year?
Maybe. I mean, the problems this year is he got a young team, new players. Last year he didn't bond at all with Young and Artis, and he ended up losing the team. I don't know if Knight would have stayed under him. He wanted a fresh start. He wanted the job, first of all. I can't answer that. Stallings is having a real tough time here, Bob, though. I don't know if he's going to be back. I've been a believer you got to give a guy a chance, but if they go 0-18 in the conference, it's going to be hard to bring him back.
Yeah, well, if they're looking at seats and lack of bodies
Nobody
in the stands,
there, yep.
That's an issue too. But the problem is, will it solve the issue next year and the year after? Probably not, no matter who you bring in, unless it's a well-known name. You're going to have to
and
pay
who's
for
going to
it.
come here as a well-known name?
Well, there's the other thing. You owe him $9 million, Stallings, to go away. So who's going to fork that over?
Right.
Plus, you're going to have to give out another, what kind of multi-million-dollar deal? And who's going to come here right now is the question.
Hard question.
Let's go out to Mark in Hampton. Mark, you are next.
Hey, Bob, how are you?
What's up, Mark?
I haven't heard anybody talk. About 2 months ago, we'll say, there was a deal on the table, supposedly, Chris Letang and Patrick Hornquist for Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and a kid that was number 3rd in the draft at PRV. But Edmonton didn't want to pick up the $7.5 million price tag because Letang is history of injury. And like I said, I've never heard anybody talk about that. I was wondering if you had heard about it and what you think. Thank you.
I wouldn't make that deal. I wouldn't give up both of those guys. I think Hornquist is very valuable to this team. I don't know what to believe. You hear all these rumors. They're going to trade this. They're going to trade that. I don't know that was going to be the case. I'm not interested in trading Letang. I'm certainly not interested in trading Hornquist. We talked to Rutherford about that today on our radio show. He goes, he's not opposed to trying to do a deal with Hornquist now to keep him here beyond this year, but it takes two to tango. And I would think if Hornquist gets to free agency, he's going to really cash in.
Well, let me ask you, though, what is the price tag for him, and how can you afford it with all these other high price tags? He's going to want near $6 million a year.
And I think he's worth it.
I do too, but that's not
worth what he brings. So I have a hard time imagining them keeping him. I really do.
Unless he wants to stay, and he'll take a slightly less. We'll see. Mike Fisher, by the way, is back in the NHL. He got out of retirement today.
Mr. Carrie Underwood,
maybe
right?
Carrie said, you know what, you've been around. I know how it is when you're around the house too much. Your wife says,
I think, Bob, your wife has said that to you,
yeah,
man.
Get out of the house. Go to work. Maybe Mike Fisher's done that. All right, we're going to take a break. 412-575-2600. That's the number to call. We'll be back with more of your calls right here live on Pittsburgh CW.